my material explorations, I choose cornstarch and PET plastics for research. Cornstarch is a kind of starch product processed from a corn. It's a white powder with multiple uses and a wide range of applications. And PET is a commonly used plastic material with a wide range of applications. Its advantages include good transparency, excellent mechanical properties, and uh, chemical stability. Next, I did some research on the specific properties of cornstarch and PET. The property that interests me the most is biodegradability. Cornstarch has good biodegradability. It can be deposed by bacteria and fungi, molds, and converted into simple components of its composition. PET is the opposite of cornstarch. PET plastic has low biodegradability and conventional bacteria, molds, and fungi are usually unable to effectively degrade PET. I think if a product made of PET material is discarded in nature, it will cause great harm to nature because PET is difficult to grade naturally. However, cornstarch materials are completely optional to PET plastics in terms of degradation. Cornstarch be used instead of PET plastics to make can cornstarch be used instead of PET plastics to make products? So in the later experiment part, I did some exploration about cornstarch biomaterial. This part is about the manufacturing process of cornstarch and PET. As a traditional food raw material, cornstarch can be made by hand at home, while PET needs the help of modern industry to use machine to produce the final products. Cornstarch is not only used in the food field, but also in the industrial field. Cornstarch is often used to make glue, alcohol, and other products. PET plastics are also well used, with bottles and containers, fibers, and exhales being the most common applications of PET plastics. Next, I studied the cultural importance and social manuality of two materials separately. What interests me most is the sustainability of cornstarch. As a renewable resource, cornstarch has a positive impact on sustainability, sustainable development by using cornstarch as a substitute for basic fuels, biodegradable plastics. We can reduce dependence on limited resource and reduce the environmental impact. Then I do some experimental tests on two materials. One of the most successful and interesting experiments is the bioplastic experiment. In this experiment, I used the cornstarch, water, gelatin, and glycerin to mix in a specific proportion. Then heated the liquid, poured it into the mold, dried it naturally, and got some good samples. In assessment 2, I will continue to modify the experiment and then use the bioplastic obtained from the experiment to make some products. Next are some of my sketches. In assessment 2, I prefer to use bioplastic to make some bottles. After the research, I choose cornstarch as the experimental rose material of assessment 2. The reason is that cornstarch is renewable and biodegradable. In addition, compared with PET plastic, I think cornstarch has great creative possibilities. I can explore more experimental method and create more interesting materials based on cornstarch.